I want to thank the members of the media for being with us today on the 2-year anniversary of 5/14/2022, a dark day in the history of the city of Buffalo. As you can see, I am wearing an orange tie. Orange is the color of violence, gun violence awareness, and gun violence prevention. And as a community, we have stood united against white supremacy and sensible gun control. I would like to thank all of the partners that are joining together for the unveiling of the Blue Flag Initiative, a unique public art project that unites thousands of members of our community. I would like to thank all of our Blue Flag Initiative partners, Roswell Park Comprehensive Cancer Center, who is a sponsor, a major sponsor of the Blue Flag Initiative, the Buffalo Public Schools, and the Public Schools Chief Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Officer, Antoinette Amos, is with us, the SEPR Gallery, the National Endowment for the Arts, and certainly the local artists that are the innovators and the visionaries behind the Blue Flag Initiative. I want to now have one of the leaders in the Blue Flag Initiative, Brandon Watson, who is the project leader, speak, and also the project founder, Brendan Bannon, is with us as well. I'm now going to ask Brandon Watson to come to the podium and say a few words.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning, Buffalo.
Good morning.
All right, so reading off the phone today. Yeah, these flags, they represent the many emotions, frustrations, fear, hope, strength of so many community members. And we want to thank all of our participants and each individual that has had an opportunity to make a flag and will continue to make a flag, from the ages of 5 all the way to 85. And we want to make sure that we thank the schools, community centers, the nursing homes, and the block clubs that have all invited us to participate in making these flags and facilitating these workshops. And I want to thank the team, Ebony White, Caitlin Lowe, Tallulah Gordon, Ada Hobson Clemens, Janine Webb, Denise Barr, Margaret Smith, Ebony Atwood, Hamadi Ngagna, Orlando Dixon, Malik Rainey, Patrick Cray, Cheryl Maney, Brendan Bannon, and our poet laureate, Itina Fareed Cook. And finally, this project was catalyzed by the National Endowment of the Arts Special Leadership Grant based on an idea that Brendan Bannon had. And it is being produced by SEPR Gallery with major support from Roswell Park, the City of Buffalo, Erie County, and many others. We see you and we thank you.
When Roswell Park presented the idea of the Blue Flag Initiative to the city, to my administration and the members of the Buffalo Common Council, one of the things that we loved about this initiative is its power to continue to unite our community. And as we have dealt with this horrible racially motivated mass shooting, one of the things that has been recognized about Buffalo nationally and internationally is how this community, our community, continues to come together in unity. A major sponsor of the Blue Flag Initiative is the Roswell Park Comprehensive Cancer Center. I would now like I would now like Buffalo's former deputy mayor and the chief of diversity, equity, and inclusion, senior vice president for diversity, Crystal Rodriguez Dabney, to come to the podium and speak on behalf of the president and CEO of Roswell Park, Candace Johnson.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you for your leadership during this tough time. I'll be brief. On behalf of Candace Johnson, we're just honored to be able to be a conduit and help connect people in the community. We thought that this was a wonderful idea, and today, as always, our thoughts and prayers are with the families of those who we have lost and those injured. So we're going to continue praying for them, and we ask that you join us. But thank you.
Buffalo has received a lot of support from our federal government. President Joe Biden came to Buffalo after 5/14. Vice President Kamala Harris came to Buffalo. So many members of President Biden's administration came here. Attorney General Merrick Garland came to Buffalo, and so many others. We are very pleased today to have with us one of our former state senators and now our member of Congress, Congressman Tim Kennedy.
Thank you, Mayor. Good afternoon. Thank you, Mayor Brown, for your steadfast leadership in helping our city heal from the trauma of 5/14. Today is a very somber day, a heavy day in our community, in our country. Tonight on the floor of the United States House of Representatives, I will recognize the victims of 5/14. I've invited the New York delegation, as well as the Congressional Black Caucus, to join me. 5/14 is a memory that will stay with each of us forever, seared into our minds. The 10 beautiful souls that were stolen from us that day can never be replaced. And the loss of our community, and especially of our families, have suffered is incalculable. The trauma is compounded not just by the violent way in which they were stolen from us, but the reason why. Racism, hatred, and bigotry. It was more than just a heinous attack on a grocery store that in and of itself is evil and unforgivable. It was an attack on our city, on our greater community, and on our country that celebrates its diversity and that welcomes residents from every corner of the globe. This Blue Flag Initiative, being led by Mayor Brown, Roswell Park, Comprehensive Cancer Center, with the support of the Common Council, Buffalo Public Schools, SEPA Gallery, the National Endowment of the Arts, is an important step in helping our city to heal. Just like the memorial design that was unveiled yesterday. And we know that healing is not going to happen overnight, next week, next month, or next year. It's an ongoing process. And we know that initiatives like this, with the guidance of local artists like Brandon Watson and Brendan Bannon, bring us a little bit closer in that healing. They help us to find comfort in the memories of those that we lost, to give expression to the emotions that we're feeling, and to present our image of a better world where evil deeds like 5/14 are a thing of the past. So thank you to everyone who's helping to make this important project a reality. And again, thank you to Mayor Byron Brown in helping to move our city forward.
It is important that we recognize all law enforcement, Buffalo Police, Erie County District Attorney's Office, U.S. Department of Justice, the state police, law enforcement at every level, local, state, and federal, responded very swiftly to this. If not for the swift response of the Buffalo police that day, more lives surely would have been lost. So to all those in law enforcement that protected our community that day and the days after, we say thank you. Now I want to ask District Attorney Mike Kane to come and say a few words. Step in behind you.
Thank you, Mayor. As a community, we will never forget the tragedy that occurred on May 14th in the city of Buffalo. We will always remember the lives that were lost and the lasting impact of this horrific racially motivated attack on the families of the victims, the survivors, our first responders, and our community. As a community, we have demonstrated that hate, racism, and prejudice will not prevail. We have truly lived up to our name as the city of good neighbors in the aftermath of this horrific attack. This tragedy brought our community together. Community-wide projects like this project, the 514 Blue Initiative, are important in this healing process. I want to thank Mayor Brown, Roswell Park, the Common Council, the National Endowment for the Arts, SEPA Gallery, and all the local artists who have made this event possible. Thank you.
We continue to pray for and lift up the families of the 10 precious lives that were lost, but also the families of those who were injured and survived, and the dozens and dozens of others who were in the store, outside of the store, who are still dealing with the trauma of that day. Someone who has been a major advocate for gun violence prevention and for the needs of those who were victimized on that day is Maston District Council Member Zanetta Everhart.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to start out with just some gratefulness today for Brendan and Brandon for doing these amazing flags. They add some light to Jefferson. So thank you for this, and thank you to Roswell and to the mayor for pulling this off, because it really does look beautiful. I woke up today heavy. I started my day in meditation. I cried a lot this morning. And, you know, Zaire got up and was taking the dog out. And he said, "I know you down here crying." I'm just grateful to things like this, to the Buffalo community. This morning, just like over the last 2 years, we had a beautiful package on our porch. You know, Buffalo is love, and I'm just grateful for the love that you all continue to show to Zaire. He is a miracle, and I'm just grateful. So thank you.
One of the questions that keeps getting asked is, what is changing in East Buffalo? Well, I can tell you one of the things that is changing is the spirit of the people. This horrible tragedy galvanized the East Buffalo community. The way people have come together to lift each other up, the way people are working individually and collectively to transform the East Buffalo community, Buffalo's East Side. That is a major change in the people themselves. The unity of this community is stronger than I have ever seen it in all my years living here in the city of Buffalo. We know that there are city, county, state, and federal dollars that will be flowing through this community. So a transformation of the minds and hearts of people, which is evident right now, but a physical transformation of these streets and buildings and new buildings that will go up. Someone that helps me and the city council manage all of these resources that flow through the city of Buffalo is the city comptroller, Barbara Miller-Williams.
Thank you, Mayor Byron Brown, and to all those who came together to make this tribute possible. I'm standing here before you to speak, yes, as your city comptroller, but more importantly, as an individual who grew up in the Cold Spring community. I grew up in the Jefferson and Raleigh area. That's where my home was. That's all I know. So it's hard for me to stand before everyone today to speak on what happened 2 years ago and to continue to try to figure out and sort through how do we keep moving forward. My message to each and every one of you today is to let us remember, let us not forget, but with all of the energies and the efforts that we're putting in for this special occasion, for this weekend, let us remember tomorrow, next week, and next month. Because those family members and those of us from the community, we're still going through every day. When I walk the streets in this community, it's a reminder of many of those folks who lost their lives. I knew them. I remember them. And many of them, we have to make sure that their legacy continues and it's never forgotten. So again, I will conclude with my message to everyone throughout the Western New York community, throughout the city of Buffalo. Let us not forget tomorrow, next month, and next year. Let us use this same type of energy to memorialize, to grow, and move together in love and in peace. Thank you.
We want to build every section of Buffalo as a strong link in the chain of community. And I can tell you, in working with the members of the City Council, a lot of city resources have been and will be allocated for East Buffalo as we work to make sure that all of Buffalo sees growth and progress. I'm very glad that we have so many members of the Buffalo Common Council with us today. I want to ask Common Council President Chris Scanlon to say a few words.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning, everyone. 2 years ago today, hatred descended upon our city, upon East Buffalo, in the form of a racist, white supremacist ideologue who intended to sow hatred and division throughout our community. Ironically, on what may have been Buffalo's darkest day, and in the days that followed, I was never more proud to be a Buffalonian. Instead of giving into that hatred and allowing an outsider to divide us, we came together as a community and took care of one another. We showed the world that nothing can come between us and that together we are stronger. On this solemn anniversary, as we continue to remember and reflect upon the tragic events of 5/14/2022, I ask that we continue to think of, and my most heartfelt prayers, thoughts, and condolences go out to the beautiful 10 lives that were lost, to the 3 members of our community whose lives have forever been changed, to those in our community who were directed and impacted immediately and the trauma they continue to deal with, and to our community as a whole as we continue to heal physically, emotionally, and mentally. I pray that we're able to use these tragic events as a catalyst to continue to come together and use initiatives like the Blue Flag Initiative to shine light on the city of Buffalo in a positive manner and on one another as we continue to come together. I want to thank Brandon, Brendan, and everyone involved with the Blue Flag Initiative for doing that. So as we move forward, as the controller said, I hope that we continue to remember, reflect upon, but continue to fight for this community and continue to bring one another together. Thank you, and God bless you.
Also with us is the Ellicott District Council member and Majority Leader of the Buffalo Common Council, Leah Halton Pope.
Thank you, Mayor Brown. Today's an interesting day. I too woke up heavy, remembering where I was, what I was doing, how many times I almost went to tops that day. I'm an expressive person, mostly facial expressions, those who know me. I can't help that. But for a long time, my medium was just writing. And so this Blue Flag Initiative meant a lot to me because it allowed me to express myself in a different way. And so I want to thank Brandon and Brendan, who happened to be at an event that I was at, and it allowed me to write down my thoughts. In the city of Buffalo, what I love about us is that in dark moments, when shadows loom, in our darkest days, love still abounds. It still shines bright. And what I remember most about that day is the love that we showed each other. What I choose to remember is how we held each other, how we loved on one another. And my hope is here in the city of Buffalo, not just today, but every single day, that we will continue to do that we will continue to show each other grace, that we will remember that when we have dark moments, when somebody disagrees with you about something, that we will find a moment to remember, I don't know what you went through that day. I don't know what happened to you that morning, but I show you grace. I ask that we remember those 10 victims and their families as they go through their day. You don't know who they are. You may know immediate family, but you don't know cousins, nieces, nephews who are struggling. You don't know the survivors and the guilt that they may go through sometimes because they managed to live through it and are still surviving through it, or their parents, like my sister, who is still living through it. Show grace, continue to show love and compassion. It's what I love most about Buffalo and this city of good neighbors. Every single day we have an opportunity to lead by example. And that's what I love about this city. This is what I love about Buffalo. This is what I love about being a human, that we have an opportunity to love on one another, to be better than we were the day before, and to let love shine brighter than our fear, to shine brighter than hate. And I want to thank you for these flags that share encouraging messages, that allow people to wrap love around those individuals, to share how they feel, even though they didn't necessarily have the words at the time. Maybe they couldn't come down, maybe they never will come down to tops, but this was an opportunity. And so thank you. Thank you, Mayor Brown, and thank you for all of the organizers. God bless you.
The Blue Flag Initiative, what you see here is just a small sampling, just a small example of the unity that has risen in the city of Buffalo. A united people can never be defeated, and the Buffalo story is that love defeats hate. love beats hate. One of the organizations that responded to Jefferson Avenue on 5/14/2022 was the Buffalo Urban League. The Buffalo Urban League was on Jefferson Avenue that day and has been on Jefferson Avenue every day since. I want to thank the president and CEO of the Buffalo Urban League, Thomas Buford, for the work of that great organization. And today the Buffalo Urban League is joining the Blue Flag Initiative with a companion art project. I want to thank SUNY trustee Eunice Lewin, a board member of the Buffalo Urban League, for bringing a therapeutic painting activity called Painting with Love to partner with the Blue Flag Initiative. So blue flags will continue to be painted. Blue flags will continue to be raised even after 5/14 is over. But for today, people who would like to express themselves with art, painting, writing, can do that. Here with us to speak on behalf of President and CEO of the Buffalo Urban League, Thomas Buford, is Dr. Sophia McDaniel Francis.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Sophia McDaniel Francis, and I am the Community Director for the Buffalo Urban League Buffalo United Resiliency Center. Today, we gather to remember and honor the lives lost in this tragic mass shooting that occurred almost 2 years ago to this date. I want to thank Mayor Byron Brown, our CEO, Thomas Buford, our COO, Ms. Melissa Spike Archer, and our staff for their commitment and their service to our community. Last but not least, I would like to thank you, our community, for not giving up, for not losing hope, and for still remaining standing. We are still here, standing in solidarity, offering support to one another, and reaffirming our commitment and unity towards healing. However, that commitment must include equity for our community, what it looks like, how we can obtain it, and how do we maintain it. We have come far, but we still have a lot further to go. The Buffalo United Resiliency Center is located literally directly across the street from us at 1140 Jefferson Avenue between Dodge and Jefferson. We are here to help with the healing process, provide counseling, both direct and indirect services, to all of us who were impacted by 5/14. Today, we invite you to join us in remembrance activities that will be paying tribute to those who were taken from us far too soon, all along the Jefferson Avenue Strip. And we would like to thank you and the community for allowing us to serve. Thank you.
I would also like to recognize Joshua Thermidor, who, like Brandon Watson and Brendan Bannon, is a founder of the Blue Flag Initiative Public Art Project. Many of the other artists and facilitators of the Blue Flag Initiative are with us today. This is a project, it's a passion project. It took a lot of love. It was a project that involved a lot of emotion. And all these flags you see right now, and so many more that are in other locations, people in our community, children in our community poured out. They poured out their pain, their feelings, their ideas, their hopes, their dreams for the future. They did that in a united fashion. And here today, we stand in a united fashion. So again, I want to thank the Blue Flag Initiative founders and partners and participants, Roswell Park Comprehensive Cancer Center, the Buffalo Public Schools, the Buffalo Common Council, all those that played a role, the NEA, SEPA Gallery, want to thank them all for again continuing to unite our community. I also want to recognize the presence of North District Councilmember Joe Golombek. Councilmember Golombek is very thoughtful. He said, Mayor, it's warm out here, so I'm not going to take my 2 minutes to speak. So Councilmember Golombek, we thank you. We appreciate you being here, and we appreciate everything that you've done to support the East Buffalo community over the years. I also want to recognize our Department of Public Works in the city of Buffalo, because they worked with the Blue Flag Initiative artists, and they have strung these flags here at Johnny B. Wiley Amateur Athletic Facility and in other parts of the city. And so in Buffalo, teamwork makes the dream work. Teamwork makes the dream work. And one of our superpowers in this community is the unity that has grown out of this terrible tragedy. Someone who had the mindset to hurt us, to destroy us, to divide us, has brought us together like never before. I'd like to ask now, while we are asking for a moment of silence across Buffalo and across Western New York at 2:28 p.m., the time that the first shots rang out at the Tops on Jefferson, I'd like to take a moment now as well for a moment of silence, if you would join me. Thank you all very much for coming out. Now we will open up to any questions that the members of the media might have. Well, we're seeing people do things little and small. What we will see in our community is everybody doing their part. So there's not going to be any superhero from the federal government, the state government, the county government, the city government that's going to save East Buffalo. But collectively, all working together, we will save ourselves. You see people investing money in their homes. You see people taking a little extra time on their lawns. You see people spending more time with their children. And when I look at this East Buffalo, I think of the community that I grew up in. I didn't grow up in the city of Buffalo. I grew up in Hollis, Queens in New York City, which reminded me when I came to Buffalo for college, East Buffalo reminded me a lot of the community that I grew up in. And the adults, the people in that community, they weren't waiting for anyone to do for them. They did for themselves. They went out and worked every day. They raised their children. They encouraged their children to be good people. The lawns on the street that I lived on were beautifully manicured. You would have thought that a lawn expert did it, but it was the people that lived in the homes. That's what's growing in East Buffalo right now. So we all have a part to play. The people, the residents have a part to play. Government at every level has a part to play. The private sector has a part to play. And with that unity, with us all coming together and doing our part, we will see an East Buffalo rise that is stronger and better and more vibrant than ever before. Thank you. Media, thank you very much for coming out.